I'm Scott L. Miller. It is the 7th of May, 2022. It's Saturday, and we're here today. We're in Friendswood, which is a suburb of Houston, very close to Galveston. We're actually in Galveston County, so if you're checking out a map, we are on the Galveston mainland, but it's Galveston County. Gorgeous day. We have everybody keeps saying it's a heat wave weekend, and we just noticed that it's way cooler than what we're used to, so not a heat wave for us, but it's probably, we're hearing a heat index of 105. I think it's actually about 97, so very hot for this time of the year in Houston, but not really particularly hot for us. It's quite pleasant, so we're really enjoying a little bit of break from the heat in Nicaragua, and of course we're in air conditioning during the day when we're here. So right now I'm walking around Falcon Lake in Friendswood because it's a beautiful little trail to walk around, very close to where we are staying, and just a perfect place to do the daily update, which I'm trying to keep up on, and so far is going pretty well. I'm very excited. We got a lot of new gear being ordered so that we can bring it back from the United States. It's very difficult to purchase things in Nicaragua. I mean, you can get your daily things, right? Food and stuff, it's no problem, but and actually logistics are much better down there, so it's much easier to get food. It's much easier to get toilet paper and just the simple things than it is in the United States, because there's no supply chain problems in Nicaragua currently like there is in the US. But other things like all that unique stuff you want to order off of Amazon, really hard to get in Nicaragua. So one of the big things that we do is when we come to the United States, we plan ahead, make lists of the things that we want, do some shopping around, know where to get it, what we're going to want, and whatever. And as soon as we get here, we place Amazon orders, or we place them ahead of time, so stuff is waiting for us. I go to my used camera dealers and find anything I may want and have it shipped and ready for me. Have my niece unpack it and make sure we have whatever. That's how I got my GoPro Volta, for example. It's been waiting here for about a month. So that's a big part of our process whenever we're here. And it does make us kind of busy, but it's also really fun because it's kind of like Christmas of things we need, right? So it's not a surprise, but we get all of our stuff for 6 months of the year whenever we're here. So some of the stuff I'm getting right now that's exciting is the Blackmagic Atom Mini Pro, which is a live streaming multi-source device for professional live streaming, which should be really, really interesting to use at the hotel. We're planning on doing a lot of live concerts and putting them online so that you guys can watch. I don't know if we're going to do very many on my channel. We've done some in the past. We're probably going to put them on the hotel channel. As I'm coming by the lake, I have to point out this place is covered in like ducks and other waterfowl, and they're all over, and the water itself is full of turtles. So I'm not sure if they're going to chase me or run away. I think they're going to mostly just chill, but it's nice with the pond. There's a lot of wildlife. So that is coming. That's a pretty cool device. It allows me to hook 4 cameras in at the same time and switch between them live. Of course, I don't have 4 cameras, but I do have the GoPro and I do have the Olympus, both of which will feed into it. So it takes 4 HDMI inputs, and it gives me a lot of control over the sources and mixing and fading and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to play with that. It should really give us the ability to do some really good live events. Plus it lets us put separate microphone input in, so if we want to capture the audio in some other way, it doesn't have to come through the cameras. That's a big deal. So it does an awful lot, and then it encodes it into 1080p, which is, you know, normally like this show is 4K, but you don't need, for a live event, you really don't need 4K, and it's really hard to push 4K in real time. Very few services can handle that, especially for upload. So that's generally not done, and a lot of the rebroadcasting systems only want to work in 1080p anyway, so it's not a big deal. So it does 1080p encoding right on the device and pushes it up to a rebroadcasting service. We're going to probably use Restream. That's at least who we're going to play with to start, and then they push it out to YouTube and Facebook and potentially other places all at once, so we can have multiple cameras hooked into a single device that sends to a single service that then sends out to multiple services. So it's a pretty cool thing, and I'm really looking forward to playing with that and learning how that works and everything, because that's going to be really neat. And then we got new hardware hard drives, and we had to get some cables, and I'm getting some small camera stuff. I plan on getting a new microphone. There's a bit of different little things that we'll be getting. It's not a big shopping trip this time. We're not here for shopping. We're not getting a computer this time, which we almost always do. But I am getting new shoes, hopefully. We've got them ordered, and I really desperately need new Tevas because I have completely killed 2 pairs of Tevas this year because I walk so much, right? And that's what I wear almost every day. So I'm constantly walking in them. They're in all kinds of weather conditions. They get very, very hot, and it's a lot of rough terrain, and I just walk a lot. So they wear out very quickly, and I need a new pair. I really probably should get 2 new pair, but we're gonna try to make do with just 1. They are expensive, but I probably need every 6 months to just get them on a cycle and always have some amount of backup. The ones that I have, both pairs, not only did I wear them out, both pairs went for repair and have still worn out after being repaired. Like, I've really worn them. I've gotten my use out of them for sure. There's like no soles left. The tops are all ripped out. The soles are on the top, I don't know what that's called, the instep, all worn out. Everything's worn out. So today, this morning, mostly did video work, getting uploads done and all that kind of stuff, which is nice to do here, even though our upload speeds are quite a bit slower than we get in Nicaragua, and our latency is worse. Our downloads are fast. So the combination, even though the other things are slower, that we're able to download things we need quite quickly does fix a bit of my workflow in general. So that part's good. Did that. We did have some continuing drama of our drama stuff going on today, but we're getting towards the end of it, I think. And then this evening, the whole day was really prep for this evening, which is the big birthday parties for Luciana and Clara and Garrett. All of them have their birthdays within a couple weeks of each other, and all just a few weeks ago. And they are now 11, 12, and 14. Liesel's the only one of that group who has a birthday at a different time. She is, of course, 13. They're now at the point where they are 11, 12, 13, 14, and they will be until Liesel leaps to catch up with Garrett in 6 months. Her birthday's in November. So all the rest are the last couple of weeks. So because this is their only chance to see each other, we're doing all of them at a joint birthday party at their Uncle Joe and Aunt Brittany's this afternoon. So about 4 o'clock, we headed over there after Dominica and Francesca made cakes today. Clara has an ice cream cake. Luciana has a lemon sheet cake with chocolate frosting, and Garrett has a banana cream cake pie thing, something like that. And so we have 3 cakes, huge party out there. Everyone's getting together there and hanging out all evening. Francesca and Emily needed to leave pretty quickly because they have their thriving new business with, let's call it rock sales, but rock art and stuff that they're selling online, doing live sales, which I've never seen anyone do live sales outside of like QVC before. It was really interesting to see their operations and see like how these things work and what's available out there now for that. Very, very interesting, and it's really cool that they like overnight have made a huge business out of this. But so they were busy all night doing that because it goes from like 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So once they go, it's like an entire day of work that they have to go do. Really exhausting. So the rest of the family hung out at Joe and Brittany's until pretty late, probably about 11 or 12. Then most everybody went to bed, and then once it was late, just Joe and Benny and I went and hung out at Benny's bar and drank until about 2 o'clock in the morning. So we had a really nice evening hanging out with the family. It was nice to be able to see everybody. This is our first chance, like having everyone get together. And this afternoon, I forgot to add that about 2 o'clock, 2:30, Dominica's parents arrived from New York. They've been driving the last couple days. I did mention that they were coming. We didn't know when they were going to get here. They made it in time for the party, so we saw them and went and hung out. Tomorrow, we are just chilling at the house. It is Sunday. It is Mother's Day tomorrow. We did remember. We don't have anything planned for that, but Francesca and Emily are doing another sale tomorrow, so they're going to be busy all evening again. I'll just be working on videos and some general work stuff, so tomorrow should be pretty relaxing. We are into just shopping, regular work and relaxing mostly for the rest of our time here. And I hope you enjoyed our walk through this little area of Friendswood. It's interesting because this walk doesn't take you through the front of the neighborhood. It takes you past this beautiful pond and fountain and ducks everywhere. There's some ducks sitting over here again. And then I'm walking past backyards. The entire walk is the backyards of houses. And it's neat because so often, anywhere in the US, but really often in Texas, backyards are blocked by a lot of fencing, like high wooden fence. You can't really see it. And here everybody has, or almost everybody, has low see-through fences. And so as you walk this path, you're kind of mingling. There's not very many people hanging out outside, but a few are. But everyone's pools and outdoor bars and stuff are very, very exposed. And you kind of wander by. You can talk to people and wave, and you're like kind of in their backyard. It's a little bit weird, but it's also pretty cool. So it's just a little view of the United States that you don't normally get to see. And I know I have a lot of viewers who are from the US, so they're kind of like, yeah, I see this all the time. But I also have a lot of viewers specifically from Nicaragua who are interested in, like, what does Texas actually look like? And this is kind of an interesting behind the scenes of Texas life. This is what it's like behind houses in Texas rather than in front of them. I will, tomorrow, I'm sure, I will walk through a residencia equivalent community here in Texas and show what the front looks like, what you see when you drive through, and how you typically see it. Quite often we don't see this in the US. This is abnormal for the most part. I am back to where I started, more or less, on the trail. Gonna wrap it up there. Remember to like and subscribe. This week we've just got about 9 more days, I think 8 more days here in Texas before we head back to Costa Rica and then back to Nicaragua with Kat. We're going to be seeing Kat here. Today is the 7th, so in 5 days, Kat is going to be joining us. I think I want to do a bunch of interviews with her. I think it's going to be interesting. And at some point this week, probably on Tuesday, Dominic and I have to find a way to go to Austin. So I'm hoping to be able to take you guys along on a trip to Austin and show you a little bit of something different, because we're here in Houston, we're just hanging out in the suburbs. But Austin, we got to go into downtown and we got to do that drive. So hopefully some interesting stuff there. All right, thanks for joining me today. I will see all of you tomorrow.